Okay, looks like we're live. There's just I'm not. There's nothing that happened at the last event that I actually need to change. This is more just stuff I need to implement that I've been putting off for a while. Because this configuration for against horizontals, I wanted to add metal to, and even though this front actually worked great at the last event, so I don't know how much. Even though I'll definitely still design it to have like the titanium front. We'll see if I end up using it. Other than that, crap. I wrote down a list. I just forgot to grab the list. Because it was that. Oh, I want to design a. Oh, yeah, there's a few things. I also want to slightly change this, though. Because it didn't break, but I noticed while assembling it. We'll just open it. That this feature kind of caused me some issues. Mostly just made it really awkward to like it was canting, like the geometry of it, because this is so thin. This side was not aligned with this side not perfectly, at least. Like it worked, but I definitely added some undue friction by having it like this. So we're just gonna do that. We're simply gonna convert entities. For entities. It feels silly to do it this way, but that's what we're doing. And then I want to just add these fillets. But I just want to add these fillets just to make it cleaner. And the reason why I still have it going down like this is that, oh, now it looks more like a penis, but I still want the, what's it called? Oh, the zip tie there. So I might actually, we got that. That worked. This is probably not how I'd recommend doing a lot of this, but I do want that there. I think we want these parallel. Yeah, parallel. But I think I want them to be... I just want to like control the angle of this, because I want this at a 45-degree angle. And we want probably this just to be a little not too far away from this. I don't want to quite go up to it because I think I like having a little bit of extra room, just a millimeter off there. Do like 3 millimeters. That way I have a little bit, 4, because I want room for the zip tie. Actually, no, I want this to be... Actually, no, we're going to change how I do this, because... I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it the right way, that way. We're going to change the cut. So basically what I'm doing here is adding a slit for the zip tie. So what we want to do here is actually make this. I want a line that just showed. Oh, did I like delete something I didn't want to delete? Because I forgot I was doing two things with that. There we go. Whoops. I forgot I was also making this smaller so it didn't. So the blade could have more engagement. Do 3.5 there. I think we want this to be about 5 millimeters, I think. Do 4, I think. I'm not controlling the angle. I think we also want this to be sort of just parallel to that. So we have like the optimal around a room. Thanks. Got the 420. I do not smoke that sort of thing, so it's unfortunately I can't do anything to celebrate. I've been sitting at 420 for a couple days because I know a lot of times I'm at a certain subscriber count and it like immediately changes when it's something funny. Because I think I was at 404 for like a day. I don't know, I feel like keep thinking this should be slightly bigger than I think it should be. Is what I want to do. Oh God. Are you angry at me now? Oh God. I have to undo this because I think I accidentally deleted something I didn't want to delete. Okay. I'm gonna carefully delete all this because my dumbass thought this was all that was there. Actually, wait. Remember? Okay, 4.3 was the width before. And that was plenty for the zip tie. Let's do that real quick. Whoops. Do this parallel to this. Do this as 5. This is 4.3. 4.5 actually. And then just to keep this a good distance from that, make sure this is 4. And then we want to make this parallel to it. We'll actually do 6 millimeter wide just to be absolutely sure. Okay, did that fix it? Okay. Wait, no. Okay. So, oh, hey there. I'm trying. SolidWorks is being wild, right? What the hell? Okay, so I'm gonna have to change. It's fucked up. We're going to edit the feature. It's wild in right now. Making stuff up apparently. Okay. Don't know why that was so difficult. Or why it's still showing that. Oh, it was the stuff I did to make it taller. Okay, stop. Let me. I can't fix it if you don't. Cutting the upright out of the hole instead of the hole out of the upright. Whoa, what kind of camera am I using? It's. Oh, I'm trying to remember what camera this is. It's the Logitech C922 is the camera I use for my webcam. For a while I actually wasn't filming in 1080p, but I recently got it filming in 10. Cutting up, yeah. Yeah, it was cutting basically the opposite of the hole I wanted. Now it doesn't like that change. Oh my god, stop. SolidWorks can be so dramatic. Okay. I got for the webcam, I actually got recommended by a channel called Stream Scheme. He does a lot of like streaming related content, like for streamers, like streaming advice and stuff. He gives some relatively trustworthy advice without trying to like sell me shit all the time. Like he's not trying to sell you a course. Okay, there we go. Now I got that fixed. Oh yeah, the reason why there was a setting in yeah. There was a setting in it just wasn't filming at 1080p. I had it set to default instead of 920 by 1080p, and for some reason the default was worse than it can actually record. Yeah, so I don't. So it's purely on me that it was filming poorly. And by the time I realized it, there was like I had just released a video and one video was already filmed and edited and uploaded. So the next upload will be filmed on this camera. Okay. That was one thing I wanted to change, because the reason I wanted to change it, because it used to be a slot going all the way down. But when it was UHMW, they like would get out of alignment just by assembling it. So I had to change it. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Okay. Why is it? How the fuck? We're gonna change it in assembly so maybe it gets less angry at me. How's it already angry at me? It's like I don't want to mess with anything because I don't want to break anything, but I know if I touch anything, it's going to break. Okay, so we're going to add a... That's not the configuration I want to change. I want to add a configuration to this. Basically, I'm trying to... I spelt that wrong. Just ignore that. Yeah, just gonna not touch it. Okay, so how thick... I'm trying to remember how thick this is. Oh, there's quite... With how complicated I make some of these, it is often more structurally sound in real life than on my computer. That is... Okay. Let me check. Because I'm thinking about how... I make entirely too many things dependent on other things. Can't say I'd recommend doing that. Baiting out thick, I think 1/3 of an inch. Or not 1/3 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. So I do an 8. We'll do an 1/8 of an inch of metal. Nope, not extrude. We want to... Definitely not through all. Just delete the whole thing. Whoops, that's not... You know, instead of just doing that, we're gonna... We're gonna do it this way. That way we know we won't have some weird... Oh, man. Why is it not like that? Okay. See ya, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I know there's a distinct lack of like people spending a lot of time on combat robot content. So I try to do what I can. Okay, so that worked the way I wanted to. Okay, so now what we want to do. 3 a.m. is in 99 minutes. Yeah, I'm curious where you guys at. That's 3 a.m. Because I'm in like it's like the afternoon or like the evening for me. Wait, what'd I do? And I mean, I still have a day job, so he's talking about jealous of what I get to do. I mean, I get to still do this, but I definitely don't get paid to do this. I still lose money doing this. Europe. Tennessee. Okay, I see what you're saying. Got to get up early at 3 a.m. Now it all makes sense now. Mr. Shenanigans is Tennessee, and he has to wake up early while Bammy is in Europe. It all makes sense now. Yeah, catch you later. I'm trying to. So we're gonna have like 3 rows of screws. So the goal is to have just as many. Do a bunch of screw holes for this. Because there's a good chance that we're going to end up with button head screws and not like flat screws. Actually, instead of I'm going to do it symmetrical. Get rid of that. Do this about 1/2 inch from the edge. This is supposed to be the screw holes. Make them equal. Make this about 0.75 inches. Maybe? Good enough. Okay. I'm gonna mirror these entities. Oh, not the point. We want the circles. This should be enough screws. It's a comically large number of screws. Should be about 5 millimeters. Okay, I've just wanted to make sure it doesn't go all the way through. Actually, we're just gonna round it to 0.2. Okay, so that's that part. Okay. I don't know if it automatically changes the configuration. No, it does not. This is, I was thinking about posting some of my SolidWorks files online to like share with people. But as you can see with how many errors, I'm like, nah, maybe I don't want to do that. I need to, I keep forgetting to actually record my weight. Because I think I have enough weight to do this. I'll have to double check, I guess. B2. Wedge plate is, I guess, going to be the name of that. Okay. Essentially what we're going to do is just make it right on here. And I think we do a lot of converting entities. We'll just have it match. We're not going to end up bending it at all. Because I don't think the amount of the price that it would cost to do that, I don't know if it'll be worth the squeeze. But that's why it's shaped like this. So even if I don't bend it, it'll still be able to take a beating. Because ideally the horizontal spinners will just be able to, will glance off of it instead of just completely eating it. Or instead of the plate just eating it, if it hits the side, it'll get glanced upward. We'll do 4.2 millimeters. Liquid contours. Do blind. That is thicker than I thought. Holy shit. This is we might have, cause like let's take a look at the okay. Is T5, I don't know if this edit material, cause what is their do they have, we don't want steel. Do they have other alloys maybe? Oh, okay. Wait, titanium alloys, that's what we're looking for. It always drives me nuts because they don't have simple names. It's very specific. You know what? Screw it. We're going to do it a different way. We're going to take the, we got volumes, cubic millimeters. Really? Density. Okay, let me try. I'm going to try to see which one of these is closest to the density I'm getting here. Mass density. Of course, the mass density is not. Two kilograms per meter cubed. Okay, so we're looking for one that matches that. Is what I'm doing right now. We're not gonna. Okay, so. I'm going to put this in the other screen since you guys don't really need to see it, but just to know what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find 540, 550. Or 510. And a lot of these are like either way more or way less. I think this 4730. That's a lot of times what I do it based off of, because that's all I really use the. Well, it's close enough. Because that's all I really end up using the materials in SolidWorks for, is just to get mass. So then what's it end up being? 52 grams. Okay, that might be a bit heavy. 52 grams, but we're also getting rid of a certain amount of weight. Because I don't think we were like 100 grams underweight. Were we? I don't. Hodag isn't fully assembled right now, so it's hard for me to check. Let me double check, make sure, because I might have. Because I was thinking, I'm like, I should take a picture so I keep remembering what my weight is actually at. Because it's a constant thing of me having to make sure it's getting up to weight and how much weight I have to work with. 100 grams plus the screws. We're not getting rid of that much. We're not getting rid of close to that much TPU. I need to start recording these sorts of numbers, because what else could we do beside, like, because if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, the only other option is like half as thick. Units? Oh. Yeah, I guess I could have switched to standard. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Because it's, thing is, like, half the time I'd be, for volume. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Thing is, even if I go to metric, it'll sometimes end up being not pounds per foot cubed, but we end up getting there. But yeah, 52 grams. Well, I've been measuring everything in pounds. It's just a matter of me remembering how much Hodag weighs now. Because we'd essentially be adding well over 100 grams, which is like a quarter of a pound. Oh yeah, flipping through the titanium types. By the time I was flipping through them, I figured out what I was looking for, which was, and that's lighter. I just realized this is slightly lighter than what Sun Cut Sun advertises it to be. I don't think that's going to change much. Basically nothing. Now I'm trying to think about how I'm going to get to... Yeah. Yeah, I already made the conversion, so at 4540 for the kilogram cubic meters. Because I'm looking at what Sencut Sen specs are for titanium and stuff to kind of get an idea. But for the density and also what thicknesses they have is what I'm basing it off of. Because going half as thick feels like a huge difference, a huge jump down. Let me try to get enough. Bag has a lot of things missing. Don't have to, because there's like every top screw. We're just gonna do that. Shit over, I guess. Okay. Add the top plates. Gonna add the beat up version of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm like counting screws. Yeah. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4. Stacking plates together is, I mean, definitely isn't the same, because having it be one piece means that it's sort of essentially like as if two were bonded. So it's definitely, so ideally we'd have one plate. I just want to, it's more just me not having no idea whether I have to wait for it. Grabbing a little baggie so I can put the screws in it without it just jangling. Batteries. Okay, so I definitely don't have 100 grams of weight. And how I have this set up, I actually am adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm adding 4. I'm adding 9 to each side. Maybe the half the weight plate is the way to go, or the half the thickness, because I don't have 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. How many grams are we working with? Okay, 1,360. 1,360 by we have 1,288. 0.2 ish. We have 71 grams to work with. And this is accounting for I think countersunk screws would weigh less, and it would take a, because I'd be removing material from this essentially, and so I think the screws would technically. I think the screws. I'm not sure if that might be a negligible amount of weight though. Because that would be the difference between the screws in weight is like 1/10 of a gram, which would, between the two of them, would be about a gram. Or yeah, be about 2 grams between the two of them, plus a little bit of titanium. Yeah, this is. Yeah, but 2 grams, like, because I have Hodag already uses these screws, and they're the same length, except for one is button head and the other is, because there's 9 screws here, and then there's going to be a whole second wedge, so that's 18 rounded up to 19 screws. And if I weighing both of these, the difference between these two screws is about 1/10 of a gram. So that'd be like 2 grams. And countersinking. Because like, okay, if we open this, let's say, I don't even remember the countersinking that we need. I don't remember the actual. Ooh, not that much. I can tell you that much. Because if we use button head screws, then the 9, then it'll be like a war of attrition. It is overkill. I am aware of that. But when you're having people horizontal, and if you use button head screws, they just take each head they take off. They're like slowly getting rid of it. So let's say we did that. Even let's say we made it 1.5 millimeters, probably be more realistic. True, I could sharpen the wedge. Because what's that do to the weight? Yeah, it's like 2 grams. Because we have 2 of these, and we'll end up with this much weight. Yeah, it's going to be mounted to TPU, and these are basically screwing into the TPU, which is why I have 9 screws. Because I think this many screws will hold, but. Yeah, 128.22. So this is also assuming that we're using all 9 screws, but getting rid of a couple screws won't give us enough to have the same thickness. Because let's say hypothetically, because currently right now this is meant to be 1/8 of an inch. And if we take it down to 1.02. I don't know why this is even in. This should probably be in. Whatever. This is much thinner. Press that. Then we're like way under. We got almost too much weight. 0.6. This almost feels too thin. This also feels kind of huge. Like there's the sheer size of this plate. Although this is based on this size, and each one of these weight. So like some of this TPU won't be there, and the TPU that's going to be gone, that's solid TPU. Because that weighs 46 grams. But I don't think we're getting... We would essentially, in order to have enough weight to have the 1/8 of an inch, that would mean that, like... Because what are we short if we... 52? I need to write this down. So we got 271, 8 grams. So then you sink the titanium wedge into the TPU. I guess I'm not sure what you mean by sinking sinking it, of course leaving the bottom. Are you basically saying... Sorry, I'm trying to... Of course leaving the... Sinking the titanium wedge into the TPU? Do you mean by like having a smaller wedge? And on the sides at least, or? The recessed plate basically making a pattern. Okay. Making a pattern for the wedge to sit in. Hide that for a moment. So you're basically saying like cutting into this and having... Oh, I don't know what the fuck I don't want to edit that component. I want to edit this component. So if we're going to suppress this for a second. Because I've already recessed what the plate initially was. So maybe I'm going to... So if we TPU in the case would be a little wider. Yeah. Essentially doing something... Actually, we'll do the trim, and then we'll do offset entities. We'll do it inward, about 1/8 an inch. We'll do 1/4 of an inch. Keep it. We'll do an aggressive taper. and then trim. Oh, I created a thin feature somehow. Do these not meet? Oh my god, of course. They don't meet in the little corner. Okay. Excuse me while I had this teeny little line. Okay, something like this. Okay. I don't think, oh, you know what? See what you're doing. I'm going to do it I'm not going to do it that way because that's not quite right. As we saw there. I think what we're going to do, instead of doing it like that, we're going to change this part. Because we cut into a larger part initially, so we're just going to delete all this. And then what we want to do is essentially actually, I don't want to make that. We want to go lower because I know knowing how this is. We want to go a little bit more. Because those that were watching will know that I cut into it. Just to get it there. Then we want to make this parallel to this. This parallel to this. And do 125 just to get that. No, I think we actually. Quarter of an inch just to give us as much as we can. Okay, that should give it. Okay, so then we're using less titanium and maybe chill out on the screw holes. Okay, it's definitely going to be angry at me. Oh, it's actually surprisingly not as angry with me as I was expecting it to be. That wasn't where needed. Okay, now it looks a little more eloquent than. Maybe a slight chamfer in the middle just to make sure. Or no. No, that's fine. No, we're good. Okay. I was kind of worried that it would end up going inward and be hard to get the plate in, but it was kind of in the opposite direction. I do want to change these holes. Okay. Push that lower. Away from there. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure it would fit. Because if it's kind of inward, then it'd be like pushing up against it. But I think this will be fine. I think we'll do 5 screws. Is what I'm thinking. I do think this needs to be lower. Keeping this where it is. Oh, is this not? Apparently it was equal to one of the ones I deleted. Whoops. Okay, we're going 5 screws this time. Maybe let's 0.75 better. So I don't want to keep these 2 in line with each other. But then we want to add some fillets. Make it. I think that if what's 10 millimeters, I believe, is what's on the other one. Yeah. And then we want the similar fillets as to what we had before, which is not that. That's not what the fillet. 0.2. Just kind of make it cleaner. But I'll keep it sharp there. That way, it's like. Yeah, I see how that could work because it kind of prevents it from really getting a bite on the edge of the lip. Honestly, at the last event, I was running it with just the TPU brick, like literally just this, and it actually worked pretty well. Mostly because this is almost solid TPU, but okay. Now the titanium part itself. I have to show it in our little sketch. Show that. Change this. Just gonna. Well, actually, we'll just maybe not ever. We're not gonna wholesale get rid of everything just to. Oh, we were so close. Of course. Equal, and then we're good. No. We're just gonna get rid of the fillet. We don't need it. What's funny is it almost looks like there's a screw missing, but oh, this is meant to be. I was like, wait a minute, this looks off because we didn't. Okay. Okay, now what are we looking at for weight? 37. Yeah, that's gonna be good enough because we also got rid of 8 screws, and getting rid of 8 screws is about 8 grams. So we actually had 70. So we actually have more like 79. And so 37 times 2 is about 75 grams. So we actually end up being like just perfect. So this is... I know the what's wrong dialogue is most of what doing solid opening every time I do anything on this. Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting. We'll see how that works out. And maybe I can sharpen it to try to... If we need to get rid of weight, we'll cut something off or something. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be one of those where it's coming down to the gram, but should be fine. This is fine. I was like, I might want my weapon lock back on. Even though there's no batteries in it. I mean, it could be. I see what you're saying. Because this thing is already dragging across the ground. I don't think it can get much lower than that. I think that's about as low as it's going to go. You could probably trim that. Oh, yeah. Have less TPU. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of it... It'll make a... Yeah, I guess that would make a slight difference. I know it's going to get angry at me if I do that. Yeah, I think I'll do that later. I still need to... There's still one more thing I wanted to do. But yeah, I see what you're saying about the lowest point. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay. I need to design... Yeah, to touch the floor. So you need to cut it at an angle. Yeah, I know ideally it would touch the floor. I'm also trying to not get caught on the floor. So I'd rather be a little off, because like getting stuck on the floor, but I want the front of the plate touch the floor. Because this, where this edge is, touches the floor. Or like pretty much does. And this is sort of designed in a way that ideally this is in line with the ground. But I think that 1 millimeter should be fine, but but yeah, I see what you guys are saying, because if I... Yeah, this is Hodag. It's already been to a few events. This is just me kind of adding a configuration, essentially. Well, altering a configuration more accurately. Yeah, this is a 3-pounder. What that's measuring to. Millimeter more. Am I crazy? Shouldn't that be... Because, like, if I do this 2 millimeters just to make it bigger... What? Okay. Making up contours is what's going on. Okay. What? I didn't realize those are separate contours. Silly me. That's too much. That's gonna scrape against the floor. I think it's bring the front of the edge of the titanium, sharpen it. Yeah, I'll have to sharpen it. Yeah, I think we'll do that and we'll just end up sharpening it afterwards. It'll just take a fucking forever to sharpen that, but... Yeah, because we'll have to sharpen the end of that. It's been something I've been putting off for a while. Oh god. No wonder it's all angry at me. That's just floating. But, okay, so I need to add some sort of... Okay. Okay. Since I have to take this robot to NHL, I need to design a way to prevent it from punching. Like a weapon lock. A weapon lock specifically for the punching mechanism, because right now the events I go to don't require one for the linear mechanism. But I know I should have one, especially, and I think at NHL they're probably going to require it. So I was thinking about just having like a thing of TPU that I'd literally just shove in there. And that is squishy enough that it like can compress. Yeah, I was literally just gonna make a block of TPU that just fits and sort of expands. I'm gonna do a new part, but I'm gonna do it separate. I might print it in a way without a top and bottom. Like I'll print it as a flat block, but I'll not have any top or bottom layers. That way it'll squeeze more uniformly. And I'll use a hex pattern instead of the gyroid like I usually do. That way it's this. Oh my god. SolidWorks gets so angry whenever I do anything. Okay. So what I'm thinking is kind of... I mean, I could. I feel like having it be able to do both well, it's gonna be hard. Could fit a Red Bull can. I mean, possibly. I don't know if that would work well as a weapon lock. Plus, I wouldn't only if they're gonna sponsor me would I do that. They have to pay up. Oop, I'm just like making lines now. Okay, whatever. Because I think we want... I don't know if I did. We're going to start this over. So we want... I'm thinking that there and then... something like this shape. I guess so. I was planning on painting Hodag. I was gonna paint teeth on the front of the wedge, and then I was going to paint horns on the top of the what's it called? The top plates. Also, because the top plates are no longer symmetrical, I wanted an easy way to tell which side goes where. Okay. I don't actually know how big this needs to be. I'm going to just do some rough dimensions, and then we're going to throw it in and see what happens. You know what? Nah, I feel like googly eyes have been done. They've been done too much. We'll do about 20 millimeters-ish. I want to do mid-plane, actually. That's what I meant to do. That is fair. Pretty much everywhere loves themselves some googly eyes. I wanted a basic shape just so I could work with it, and then I'll do, because it needs to be okay. That. Actually, what I want to do. Oh my god, okay, apparently that's how I did it. I should have done the right plane be what is supposed to be the right plane, but here we are. Oh, I'm going to want this a lot taller. Oh, that's the battery. I don't want to grab that. Human hair? Why would somebody want to... That is not decor. This should be way taller than it actually is. Okay, so I didn't make this nearly tall enough. Oh god. No. Also, what the fuck is SolidWorks doing? Entanglement device. It sounds like a horrible entanglement device. Ugh. Well, I guess I was gonna be like, that'd be horrible having hair in your robot, but I already do end up with hair in my robot. But not my own hair, obviously, my girlfriend's hair. Because whenever I drive it around any of my robots around the apartment at all, ends up catching her hair. Okay, we're just gonna assume that I shove this. Yeah, yeah, that axle hair. Yeah, it's unintentional hair. Oh, that's not gonna fit. Actually, no, now I'm thinking about it. I'm mating it to the wrong spot. Because mating it to that, the problem is it needs to fit. I need to be able to squeeze it past this. So it needs to be just larger than that. A beer. I'm not. Oh, God. That sounds just gross. We don't need hairy robots. That's not a thing that I think we need to see. I think we need maybe do that, and then I think we might want to round some edges. This feels like too big of an angle, so we'll do it a little bit smaller. But yeah, of all the recommendations for my robot, human hair is not on top of the things I'd expect. If that goes, because realistically, there's no reason for this to actually have to go all the way in. Yes, this is basically a glorified doorstop. I was actually debating on whether it should be a curve instead of a wedge shape. That way it'll like kind of stay in a little bit better. Not April. I'll be going there in June. So what I was thinking is essentially that. And then a bit of a lip. Now I'm thinking of having it more of a lip. And we have this be like 2 millimeters? Yeah. Because I want it to be able to not come out on its own. Okay, maybe that's... This... I'm really overthinking this. But yeah, we're just over-engineering with what is essentially a doorstep. But yeah, me and a bunch of other MRCA folks are going out in June out there. So I still have a couple more non-NHRL events before then. Okay, I think I also want to add a hole because that way I can add like a little tag to it so it's a little bit more clear of what this is supposed to be. Some cardboard or wood with pipe insulation and call it good. I want something that that they'll find acceptable while also this feels not big enough. Yeah, I think we need everything a little bit wider. Okay, that's too much now. Too wide. This is some riveting content, watching me design it. What is this? Essentially a doorstop. So just a block of CPU. Maybe one less millimeter. Yeah, I'll definitely have one or two events to test out this weapon lock, but if it like kind of works. Wait, what am I doing? I want to edit the actual part. Make a hole in it. Just so I can have like a tag and something. 8mm hole should be good. Do through all. Okay. Nice block of cheddar would probably work here. I was actually considering, like, if you look at the sides of the robot, I was thinking about throwing one of the sides in there. Because these sides almost fit in there. It's like a different part of the robot. I think I want it a little taller, though. Because I want to be able to grab it without feeling like my fingies are too close to the... I'll have to just try it. An actual piece of cheese as a weapon lock. I know I'm from Wisconsin, but I'm not going to use cheese as a weapon lock. As on brand as that would be. Just because I'm Wisconsin, I'm offended. You know, I think I'll do it. American cheddar. But we'll go back to the smaller one and then I'll test it out, and then if it works, I'll make it longer. I mean, it's probably a comparable nutritional value. Milled cheese. I feel like the problem with trying to mill cheese is it would melt. If you tried milling it, it would just... Can you 3D print cheese? I've heard of you can 3D print chocolate. So I imagine you could probably 3D print cheese. Although I don't think it solidifies fast enough would be the problem if you tried to 3D print cheese. I don't know. I haven't thought that much about 3D printing cheese, I guess. But yeah, I think I'll just try it and then maybe next time you see this, it'll be different. By the time you see it at NHRL. But I think this is pretty good. I accomplished all of the things I meant to accomplish on this stream. Got the weapon lock, made the adjustment to the weapon. Before stream, I changed the top plates, so now they're asymmetrical. And now we have a metal wedge. I'll have to order those parts probably pretty quickly. I'll definitely want to order these probably tomorrow at the latest. Because the CNC UHMW takes for freaking ever. So this I'll want to do as soon as possible. This I want to do pretty quickly. Because this I need to get by NHRL, and this ideally I want in the next 2 weeks, but we'll see. And I'll definitely order some extra before NHRL. I order some extra weapons, extra base plates and top plates and stuff. Oh, which part? Talking about this? Because this will probably have a pretty low density, and you'll be able to see the infill of it because how I want to print it. But yeah, this shouldn't take. This is not a solid thing at TPU, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Because this, despite the size, is going to be the quickest print you see on this picture. Well, other than, I guess, some of the parts that are technically PLA+. But very few of the parts in this are PLA+. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna end up getting behind on videos because I have I have to get Wendigo ready for an event that's not this weekend but the weekend after, and I'm troubleshooting a bunch of issues I had with Hodag in the event last weekend, so there'll be a longer gap between videos than usual, but consequently I think I'll end up putting out like a bunch of videos pretty quickly in May. It won't be till like the end of April that I get the next video out, but that's because I have so much bot related things to do. But there'll be a period of time where I'm putting out videos faster than normal in conjunction, or at least that's the plan. We'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, that's all I have for tonight. I think next week we're going to go back to working on that plastic ant, and I hope you guys have a good night.